Dear students, welcome to topic unit number 5, topic 3, major steps in planning report. Now, how to prepare your research report? What are the steps in preparing the report? How to plan a research report? Before you start writing the report, you must make sure that the data is collected and analyzed properly. Data collection is the starting point of any research. Field-based data, both primary and secondary, are to be collected, they are to be tabulated, they have to be presented in the form of tables and chart or diagrams. Statistical analysis have to be taken place. Standard deviation has to be derived. Test of significance has to be undertaken. And all the data presented in tables are to be interpreted, are to be analyzed. So that's the first step. After the data analysis, the second step is chapterization. The chapterization, as I have mentioned earlier, there are three parts. The first part is introductory, which can be prepared even before the data analysis. It is better to prepare later so that how the methodology followed can be explained better in the introductory part. The second part is the database chapters. The database chapters are based on the objectives. All the data analyzed, all the tables prepared have to be classified chapter wise, and the chapters can be prepared accordingly. Finally, the concluding chapter has to be prepared. The concluding chapter will have findings and suggestions. Findings are the collection of the major findings of all the database chapters, all the tables and charts presented in the report. The third step is preparation of the references. References have to be prepared roughly along with the first chapter, because much of the literature review is presented in the first chapter. Some of the literature can be incorporated in the database chapters. So whatever literature has been used are to be referred in the reference section. That is the preparation of bibliography. Generally, it is presented alphabetically. The fourth step is the preparation of the preliminary pages. Preliminary pages means the title page, the table of contents, the list of the tables used, list of the diagrams, acknowledgement, the certificate portion, director's certificate, supervisor's certificate, and your own researcher's self-declaration. So all these preliminary pages have to be prepared. Finally, you have to prepare an abstract or research summary. Research summary is not something different. It is just a summary of the introductory chapter and the last chapter, major findings and suggestions. You have to pick up the main points from the introductory part and the summary of the methodology conducted and a summary of the major findings and the significant suggestions. All these four portions together make the abstract. It can be minimum 3 pages and maximum 10 pages. It can also be part of the research in the annexer, or it can also be a separate document which will be used for the evaluation. You have to present an abstract to your evaluators when you attend the Viva based on your research. planning outline of the report. So just to summarize, how to plan the outline of the report? You should have the chapter scheme in advance. As we have discussed earlier, the introductory chapter, then the database chapter, and the concluding chapter. After the chapters are prepared, the preliminaries and annexer part is prepared. And finally, the abstract. This is the way you have to plan the outline of the report. Once the first draft is ready, you need to edit for accuracy and neatness. You have to recheck the draft you have prepared for the language and grammar. You should rewrite the introductory part as well as the database portion for the proper logical flow. Thank you. Dear students, welcome to unit number 5, topic 4, footnote, references, bibliography, preparation of abstract and publication. Footnote and reference part. Referencing means whatever literature review is included in the introductory part requires the reference. Reference means mentioning the author, the year of publication, and the page number. These three information in the bracket. You can check the textbooks, various articles, and you can find wherever any quotation, wherever any literature review is presented, a small reference note is given there in the form of author, year, and page. And then there is footnotes or endnotes. Footnotes refers to some additional information about certain terms used, certain technical terms which require further explanation. But explanation placed in the main text may divert the attention of the reader. So in order to maintain the logical flow, it is better to explain such terms in the footnote. Footnote means the at end of the page. Endnote means at end of the article. And bibliography. Bibliography means the references, the full reference. You give a short reference in the text and the full reference at the end of the chapter or at the end of the report, which has to mention the author or authors, followed by year, then the title of the book in italics or the title of the article. If it is an edited book, the author or the editors, followed by year and the title of the book in italics. If it is a journal, mention the title of the journal or periodical, newspaper, etc. in italics. Mention the volume number and issue number, date, finally the place of publication and the name of the publisher. You can check the references given at the end of this PPT. Footnote and endnote. Endnote is old style. Even footnotes are slowly disappearing from the latest writings. In footnotes, you can also give the references, you can give the full bibliography, you can give explanation or interpretation of some special terms used. Sometimes a full quotation is given in the footnotes, a partial one is presented in the main body. Footnote also can be the additional information which may disturb or distract the logical flow of the main text. Some people may not go through the footnotes. They may already know in the details presented. Now see the slide, and you will find at the end of the slide there is 6 lines footnote is presented. There is a very small reference in the main body, and the interpretation, the explanation for that reference is given in the footnote. Bibliography, there are generally 4 types of bibliography. The first one, bibliography of the books. When you present the bibliography of the books, you have to first write the author's name, followed by the year in bracket, then the title of the book in italics, comma, place of the publication, followed by colon, and finally name of publisher. This is called APA format, American Psychological Association. This is widely used, and this is the most popular format used all over the world. You may check any textbook from the library and you will find the bibliography section presented in this format. Suppose you have read an article from an edited book. How the bibliography will be presented? First of all, the author or the authors, followed by the year in bracket, then the title of the article, then in editor, the editor of the book, followed by year, the title of the book, then the place and name of the publisher. If you review an article from a journal, first you have to mention the author, followed by the year in bracket, then title of the article, then the title of the journal in italics, journal or the periodical or the newspaper, followed by the volume number and issue number. Generally, volume number refers to the year and issue number refers to the quarterly, half yearly or termly references. Sometimes it is monthly. If it is a monthly publication, there will be 12 issue numbers. Each number represents 1 month. If it is a quarterly publication, issue number 1, 2, 3, 4. Each one refers to each quarter. If it is a half yearly publication, there will be issue number 1 and 2. Followed by the date, place and name of the publisher. Finally, article from website. Nowadays, lot of literature is available in the internet. So many government reports are published in the government website. So they are also valid source of information. So how to present them in the bibliography? You have to identify the author of the article available on the website. Mention the year, write the title of the article, then mention the website with www. the website name. Finally, you must mention retrieved on or accessed on or downloaded on, the date and time. It is very important. Sometimes after you visit the website, a few days later, in the next update, this article may disappear. It may be replaced by some other article. Therefore, the update time, the last updated date should be mentioned in your reference. If not, the date of your access. Preparation of the abstract and publication. Now, how to prepare the abstract of your research? In the abstract, mainly there are 4 sections. The first part is the introduction, a summary of the problem statement. the relevance of the topic, the significance of the research, maybe one page, the introduction, followed by methodology used for the research, whether it is a descriptive study, or it is an experimental study, or it is a survey research, or it may be comparative analysis, or an impact assessment, what type of study it was. That should be explained, maybe another half a page or one page. The third part is findings. What are the major findings? In the abstract, you don't give any diagrams or tables unless they are very important. You have to mention few findings that are very significant. You have to present them in summary format. And finally, the conclusion of the research or the suggestions, another half a page. So altogether the research abstract can be 3 pages or maximum 7 to 10 pages. Dissemination of research findings. The research will be useful for the public only if it is published. So any research conducted has to be published somewhere. So publication of the research report is very essential for the dissemination of the research-based knowledge, so that the people may make use of your research findings. The future academicians will use your research. It will be useful for the students who are going to use the library later on. Thank you.